Hi everybody. It's been a hot minute since we've done some Materia D&D. Thank you, Danny, for running a what if kind of session for Thanksgiving. Welcome to Materia D&D, or we play D&D our way, and it is session 140, and it is the 9th of Everly 269 PBT. I'm going to try to be good about saying calendar for us, so we can keep that kind of going. Uh, but yeah, we're picking up with foggy memories of everything that has happened. Uh, but in short, what the main elements that have been going on is the Crass Menagerie has arrived at Whitlaw a day or so ago um, uh, to uh, link up with Tabard to get some more information, share some information, um, and check out some threads. One of which that they picked up in uh, Volpine when they were talking with Hadriel, the Tengu curator of secrets from the College of Fascinations, was that they could discuss things about the storm that is brewing and being hindered outside of Carver uh, with the headmaster Butcher, um, which, due to a misunderstanding and formalities and the menagerie wanting to be more proper than needed, they lacked out on Hadriel's code. So when they did eventually set out from their resting point in um, from the inn of the Adventurers League, uh, they set north and headed towards the Lyceum district, headed towards the College of Fascinations, but then realized that the museum was close to the College of Fascinations, but however, not in the same location. And the proper name for the museum is the Alabaster Repositories. But along the path, which there had been a odor that had been that they had encountered previously, almost like the smell of sparked metals. But they never were able to track it down. They encountered this odor another time on the way up to the museum, and then once again once they were in the museum, but that's much later. So the menagerie gets to the museum. Uh, they make their introductions. They attempt to see the headmaster, however, without giving the proper no correspondence, I guess. They still got his ear, but it took much longer than they would have liked, giving them some time to explore the museum on what is displayed to the public. But that is kind of beyond the point, beside the point. So some time will pass, and the menagerie did get to go see an audience with the headmaster, which they understood his name as Headmaster Yorn. Um, And when they did do discussions, and they did eventually present the letter and everything, and they were told that his full name is Butcher Yorn. Yes, it's a unique name. There's a reason for it. People don't know what it is yet, other than his parents gave it to him. So when they're down in the vaults, a massive underground portion of the uh, Alabaster Repository, probably taking up probably the exposed portion of the Alabaster Repository is around 1/8 of the entire complex, where the remainder of it is a subterranean uh, facility of many layers and many stories, and that just goes deep into the ground. Um, that houses volumes of knowledge that much of the world would probably never realize ever existed. But it is where it is curated. It is tried to We just tried to be organized, studied, and researched. And it just happened to be that one of the elements that the repository is working with the College of Fascinations on, as well as the Heralds of Exploration. Sorry about my phone. I thought I muted it. Is the procurement and transfer of oddities and artifacts and relics from the west of Materia in the open plains region that were required to be hastily taken out due to the raiding that has been escalating over time there. Um, so the heralds managed to take numerous collections from a certain dig sites, but one in particular is the one that they are focusing on right now, where they had urns, tapestries, and paintings, a portion of a wall, some armors, some everyday clothing, cutleries, etc. The scattering of everything. And in the downtime of making introductions, and Al doing his best to share with Butcher all of his Pepe Silva connections on the storm. Uh, there seemed to be interest, but not to the degree that maybe the Menagerie were hoping, as most of the focus were on these items from the stick site. The Menagerie then agreed to assist and discuss, as they did get the headmaster's attention, and he needed the help along with the heralds, as they did learn that a number of the individuals coming back from the west did fall ill, um, fever and such, and that they were down some folks, and that they were also working in shifts to try to maximize research and study times. All this being said, eventually, while they're helping, one of the individuals that is studying a particular urn uh, shatters it unwillingly, and a purple like stone uh, embeds itself into the floor of the vault, leaving a odd-shaped fissure in the ground, but then also merging with the ground at the same time. Uh, and this caused all the various arcane wards and protections within the vault to start to hum and activate. And with some investigations, and it took a while, but it kind of became realized that maybe it was warding against celestial energies and such. But motions were set into place, and the object, unknown to the entirety of the individuals within the vault, uh, is something that they found out was referred to loosely as a origin point. And from an origin point, apparently entities are brought into existence. Um, and it just happened to be that this origin point was taking in the various complementary energies, and taking in the hidden truths of individuals within the premises to um, construct and bring forth a celestial entity into existence. One that Rock and Sej made more of a direct contact with, as Rock tried to do a telepathic binding. And as this origin point began to basically take on the appearance of a reverse lava lamp kind of flow and with a contained space that they had it, a set of rings, or I should say 3 rings, began to appear around Sej's and Rock's head, where they became completely muted and disconnected from the material plane. And they were in a space that represented where this entity has been for what they found out is an extremely long time. Um, all this being said, they did manage to communicate with the entity. They did manage to find out a little bit about the situation, that it had been trapped, and it was basically something that never had the chance to exist. Um, and all that happening back in the material plane, um, that odor of sparked metal reappeared or was smelt again. And this time it was a little bit different as some of the individuals that had been sick made their way down through the vaults. However, those of keen eye noticed that their feet and their hands were stained with red, dripping blood, and where they walked, they smeared blood, and that they were ignoring everyone and just saying that they needed to be here. Turned out that whatever happened to them, which is unclear, they were not completely themselves, and the group was introduced to creatures uh, which they don't know, but my players know, are called bloodletters. Uh, and a battle ensued, one that involved many mechanics, and my players figured them out, so I was very happy with them, proud of them. Um, and we basically pick up with the, because combat is combat, no one really gets details on combat, um, with the menagerie managing to stop the 6 bloodletters that had emerged from the ailing and sick uh, heralds of exploration, uh, while at the same time the origin point seemingly has completed what it was tasked to do as a celestial entity is now amongst them. I don't know what the right wording for this is, but deep within the vaults underneath the alabaster repository, we pick up with the menagerie, kind of resting, kind of dealing with dead bodies, and now kind of in the presence of a newly born celestial entity.
So who, like, from the Lyceum, who's here and what are they doing?
So Lyceum is the entire district. So do you mean the
Yeah, like you
museum?
weren't. Yeah, sorry, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
So this is where it becomes a little weird. So a couple other colleagues were killed, and then
Right.
6 other of them were, well, we don't know really what happened to them. Either
Poop in their
transformed
pants, hanging them
or
back.
yeah, or that. But essentially those that are within um like let's say that are not in a shocked kind of state, which would taken some time to dissipate, um, are kind of observing the central focal point of the room, which is this purple mass that has kind of come coalesced, taking in materials and energies from within the space to present to you a rather humanoid figure. Um, for Sej and for Rock, it'll be a very similar kind of visual. I guess all of you, because when you were looking at Sej and Rock as well, when they had the 3 circulating bands with the multiple eyes on it that blinked in random cadences, you couldn't make out their face. Like it was all like almost like magically blurred. This kind of effect is still happening. Um, those of you that are more keen of eye will notice that while they are in a humanoid, uh, let's say, state, there is definitely oddities to the anatomy, such as like a lot of the major joints are missing, yet the pieces of this entity just seem to stay in place. So there's no shoulder, no elbow, no wrist. There's a gap between the neck and the chest, for the head and the chest, etc. Kind of go throughout the body. Um, what is to almost represent, I guess, a head of hair is made up of numerous folded wings that fall in different places, kind of giving the appearance of hair. Um, the overall physique of this entity would be, I guess you would say, on the lean, um, possibly even sort of lanky. Um, and they, in their space, remain kind of motionless, just kind of almost like, I wouldn't say sitting in place because they're hovering, but they're almost like in this natural, just kind of like bobbing up and down in space, kind of levitated state. Um, not really moving much. You see that the eyes on the bands and the bands themselves that kind of spin around their head are moving and observing everything constantly, but there's really no sound associated with this entity. Uh, and then everyone else within the room, um, well, some of the individuals are staying back. Some of them are trying to figure out how to get out, as this place is under seal right now. So it begs the question, um, there's the questioning that you guys can pick up on, like how did the six of their colleagues that were maybe not their colleagues get in? Um, and others are, just an observation, taking notes. Others are staying back. A couple of them are trying to get as far away from this person. There's a whole bunch of different reactions. As for Yorn himself, um, he's had some time to kind of collect himself, and he is, uh, you see him as some of the tables were maybe shoved around during the conflict. He finds one of the tables that was set up loosely to study something, and you find him standing over the table, kind of hunched over with different parchments and writing utensils, and he is just you just see him almost not like a fever pitch, but he's just taking notes, observations. He's just studying this thing from afar and documenting everything that he can. You see that a couple other individuals are assisting him with that. There's this weird kind of silent buzz amongst their work. Uh, but yeah, yeah, those that with some time, you'll realize that some individuals are still trying to, figure out how to leave this place, because it is, again, you'll hear the term, it is under lock. But that's it, really, right now. You guys are just coming down after killing a bunch of demons.
Davis
No,
is.
that was gross.
Yeah, that sucked. What is what? What's going? What is that? What's going on?
Well, you remember that origin point thing, right?
That. Yeah, that's different.
I think this is a newly born celestial. Maybe. Hmm.
Like, is that a good thing?
Everybody, just watch carefully. Um, I'm gonna sheathe my everything. I actually just got up from dead, so
Sheath my
my
everything.
anyways, I'm gonna walk towards it slowly.
Okay. As you do, it's just kind of levitated there, and you'll see the eyes that are looking all around the room. And as the rings kind of spin, the we'll say like the quadrant where the rings will come in within your focus. You notice that all the eyes that are looking everywhere, when the rings spin, they all focus on you. And when they spin out of way, the eyes begin to like kind of look all over the place again. So you definitely have attention. It notices you.
In celestial, I'm going to say, "We mean you no harm. Who are you?"
In Celestial, uh, generally a very light kind of language when spoken out. Um,
Probably sounds like it's reverberating.
well, it's interesting
Sound
because
sounds like wind chimes. Clink, clink, clink,
yeah,
clink, clink.
it's kind of cute. I actually like that. But you'll see as it looks to you, it begins like there's no sound coming out, and so as you're kind of looking at it, you'll see that in the process of realizing that it can't speak to you. I mean, it has spoken to you telepathically, and a mouth begins to kind of split and form, and then returning back in celestial. Something new. Mm, I am not amongst my peers, I take it.
No. You're among mortals. Um,
Yet you are familiar. Why?
I'm of faith to higher beings. So I'm studied. That's all.
Hmm. No, I feel I've seen you before.
Seen me? I'm gonna turn to the main scholar dude. I forgot his name already. The guy that's scribbling
Butcher
maniacally.
Yorn. Yeah. Butcher
Yeah.
Yorn.
I'm gonna look towards him, and be like, in comment, I'm gonna say, anybody else speak Celestial? Is anybody else getting this?
He will. Like, yeah, he's like, I am writing down everything you two are saying.
I'm glad, because
Uh,
I'm not writing this down.
uh, mm, uh, no, mm. And he's gonna, you kind of, for a moment there, says, you'll kind of feel this, oh, how do I put it? Like a head, it's a passing headache. Like, for like 6 seconds, you just feel this immense weight upon your mind. Uh, can you give me a wisdom check? Just a wisdom check. Not a
Sure.
save.
You should be good at that. Oh God.
That's a good assumption to make. He does speak a lot of languages.
Which actually, I legitimately did think he spoke Celestial, but he doesn't.
Pretty sure he does.
Rock? No.
No, he hasn't
Oh,
picked it up yet, I don't think.
I
I know
speak
we
every
both
other language.
Just
not
about every
Celestial.
other.
we both speak Draconic. That's what it was.
That's
No,
I was
okay.
thinking of Sylvan was the one I was thinking of. I was like, wait, no, you've spoken Celestial before, but no, it's Sylvan, not Celestial.
So wisdom check.
Yeah. So D10 plus your wisdom modifier.
D-
So for
20
you.
maybe?
Huh?
You said D10.
Oh, it's a D20. Sorry. Like, again, I am running.
Playing a new system. It's a D10 based system.
good luck.
No, roll me 3d6, and we'll go from
Oh,
there.
let's do Fate Dice instead.
Yeah, exactly.
15
Let's just
total.
use coins 50% the whole time.
Fine. Yeah. Just everything's 50-50.
I
Unless
rolled
someone
poorly,
runs.
so
So wait, what was the total?
total of 15.
15's not
That's
bad.
fine.
That's fine.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
bad because I have a good ass wisdom modifier.
yeah.
He's just
So
He doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of a celestial.
Yeah.
yeah. So with that, you understand that it very quickly, um, l- to use a modern term, because I don't know how to say it, it scanned your brain and your mind and your conscious to pick up words and vernacular and terms, just to try to like get information. And it'll say, it'll speak. I and you get, because of the conversation that's going to happen, you understand that it does not know how long it has been in a dormant state. So time is one of these aspects for it that is kind of irrelevant in a way. And it'll say,
Time
no,
isn't even real, man.
yeah, time's not real. You can just move really fast or move really slow or get to a really heavy object. But it'll say, no, at some time you shared space with me. No? Am I mistaken?
Hmm. Not in the ways that I know.
Mm.
I guess that could be possible in some ways of thinking that when you come to life in this world, you're not exactly starting from new, but maybe my spirit has touched before? This is confusing. I'm sorry. Perhaps my spirit was reincarnated? I don't know. You think so?
It's quiet. It doesn't know how to respond to that. You just pick up. You have enough insight that it doesn't know how to respond to that, and it's not
What
mature
do you,
enough to understand how to speak.
what seems familiar about my spirit?
The fire that reefs you.
I'm gonna look up to the ceiling. You wouldn't happen to know a name like Surya, would you?
From you. Otherwise, no.
It might be a name of someone familiar, but she's also one that has many names. Do you have a name?
Uh, no. No one has given me a name.
Gregory.
I knew someone was gonna just put like those like Jeff or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gregory.
I mean, that's how
Yeah.
Paul became canon.
Yeah. Cameraman Paul.
Uh-huh.
How about Simon?
Ooh, that's
I'm
spicy.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
uh, would you like a name?
It would help with knowing when I am addressed.
I'll turn to the rest of the party. It's looking for a name. We need to give it a name.
Whose name? Whose name does it want?
Hey, Rock.
You're gonna give it Rock's name?
What's up?
Do you want to give it a name?
I already have to name my sloth bear friend. I don't name things. I also it is do we name it? I mean,
Oh, it's asking us to name it?
it's a
Yes.
Said
power
no. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I
being.
wouldn't know that.
Like I don't know.
Maybe Al? Have any ideas?
Not a particular naming scheme. First thing that pops in my head is Soul.
Oh
Come back
God.
to me. Come
Yo.
back to me if nobody else gets a better idea.
Hey, Yorn, where was this? The thing that this was carrying this? Where did this come from?
It
Butcher.
was
Sorry,
like that.
Butcher. Where'd this come
It
from?
was like that
One
weird urn, right?
one of the yeah.
Yeah, but what was the place? Name of the place?
Um, there was a temple for um. I'll have to look it up again. A temple for uh,
Is it one of the Pantheon?
purification judgment, I think, from the open plains. One of the dig sites. Where is it? It was a dig site here, and he'll kind of pull out a map, kind of showing you where it's marked on the dig site. There's no name to this area. It's just they have a you know it's dig site 7A uh off the one of the rivers in the open plains.
Slevin.
That's a terrible name.
That's my vote.
Oh god.
No, but like it was a there we it's an overgrown ruin that upon investigating, it looks like it was ruins built atop of ruins. At one point, the initial ruin seemed to be some sort of uh almost like a stronghold, but below it is where we found the collection of, well, information that leads to make us understand that it was a place of either purification or punishment or something along those lines.
Sedge, ask it if it knows if it knows what its purpose is, or if it has a calling that it feels.
I'm gonna turn
Some
back to it and just I'm gonna kneel towards it and then ask, do you have a purpose on this material plane? Now that you're here.
What's your whole deal, yo?
Yeah.
My purpose is something I don't fully know, but I have this drive to, and it looks up, leave.
Mind
I
if
am not,
I give you a name?
I see no, I see no fault in that.
And you're trying to leave?
I feel I do not belong in this confinement.
So are you trying to get back to your celestial brethren?
Perhaps that is what is driving me. I hear
Well,
a faint calling. And it looks up again. But when it looks up, you gotta understand, like its head stays still. I have to think, look up. The
And
rings tilt up.
eyeballs.
Yeah, the rings tilt up, and then the eyeballs look up.
I understand. How do you feel about
Steve.
Chandra?
Chandra. Then I shall be Chandra.
So we hear wind chime, wind chime, wind chime, Chandra.
Yeah.
Sean.
Okay. Well, there we go. You have named a celestial. Me. Eh.
Thanks to your
Me.
name, I feel my
Well,
alignment shifting. I am now evil.
I will do anything you say, even murder. Who's John Lennon?
No, it'll say, why are we in this space?
I. We. Well, some other mortals uncovered a artifact with apparently you residing in it, or what bore you here inside of it, and something happened, and we are under magical means of containment while we figured out what was happening to both you and this bloody mess around us was some bad actors that were trying to harness you in ugly ways.
I seek not to be contained. I have been contained for so long.
We had no idea that you were even contained within. And if we're talking me personally, I'm not sure how I know this much of celestial language, but anyways, but I'm we're we're not we don't want you to be in captivity either. We're not trying to harness anything. And in fact, I can't speak for everyone, and mostly nobody here but me can understand this language. But I'm sure
Yorn,
we could help. What did Bjorn say?
Yorn just kind of puts his hand up. I got you. Don't worry. Scribbling.
I'm sure we could perhaps assist you getting back, or freeing ourselves and getting you to where you need to go somehow. Whatever you need, we can assist in mortal means. And looking at you, you might lack the necessary faculties to, I don't know, physically open a door.
All this is all this is not alleviating the current containment. I seek to not be contained. Will you assist now?
We're under the process of releasing our all of our containment in this room. So yes, we're actively working on it. Soon.
Should have called him soon.
DM
Right
soon.
there.
So with the pausing conversation, since I'm assuming this is entirely celestial.
Yeah. There hasn't been.
Like, so what did, what's going on?
So this is a new or somewhat new celestial. It doesn't even have a name. And
Yeah, we talked about that.
oh yeah, sorry. The language gets
Yeah, I understand.
weird. It's all fuzzy in my head. Um so he wants to go. It keeps looking, the ocular things keep looking straight up, and it wants to go. It's being drawn somewhere, and I asked if it's trying to get back to its other spiritual buddies, and it's under the assumption that that's the case. So I think it's trying to get out of here. Not only just here in this room, but trying to leave Materia. It's not, it doesn't.
Do they know how
I
to?
have a feeling, and it has a feeling that it doesn't even belong here. I'm not even sure how it got here then. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Do they know how to leave? Like, assuming that we're able to unshield or whatever. What were they calling?
Well, I felt it and it had an understanding, but it's like a newborn baby, but it scanned my mind.
Whoa.
And so it really only knows what I know. Really? So no, I don't think so.
Huh. It only knows
If a
what you know, but
celestial
it
had a child,
has.
this would be a baby.
Okay. Is it dangerous?
I wouldn't piss off a celestial, but it seems friendly.
Okay.
I even gave it a name, you know?
Oh no, what was it?
Oh, I'm really bad at names. It's Chandra.
Okay. It's on the screen.
that that elephant memory is coming in handy.
Nailed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I heard what sounded like that in the middle of all the weird singing song talk that you were doing, but
Yeah, there was a random bit of comment in there. Weird.
um, okay.
What we need to do is get out of here and, I guess, prove that looking at the guy that's furiously writing notes,
Yeah, Butcher Yorn. Yeah, headmaster.
we're gonna need to get out of here, or at least prove that it's safe. I'm not sure how to explain the new Celestial friend, but I think it's pertinent to get out of here as soon as possible. You know?
Sesh,
Hmm?
first off, what the fuck is that?
This is akin to a god, but a piece of it.
So, is it necessarily gonna do good things?
That's a good question.
Fire does good things and fire does bad things.
I know,
So
but
we don't
do
want to
you
let
want to be
fire out everywhere.
Yeah. Do you, right now it's contained. There's a reason why there's wards here, right?
Yeah. It doesn't seem malicious.
Made me feel
You're
happy.
not wrong. That would, if I did release it and it was a foul spirit, I guess it would be on me, wouldn't it?
Question: the containment thing was triggered by.
Those
Do we
weird
know if
blood
it?
things.
Yeah. Was it when they appeared, or was it when something with the stone happened?
Originally, when
Yeah.
something with the stone happened.
Okay.
Did it just automatically
So,
happen, or did somebody trigger, like,
Somebody hit the
engage?
panic button.
Yeah.
I
Or
guess
we
what
don't know.
I'm saying is, do we have the authority to release this thing? This is not our location. This is not our building. We have no control here. Why are we making the decision?
Yeah, I don't think it's our responsibility, our call to make, but I would hope that they would have some. They would trust us in our judgment in some respect. I mean, we should carry some weight.
Yeah, I agree, but I have no idea what this thing is.
Oh yeah, same.
Imagine some of the things we've come across. I have no idea if this thing is malevolent or good or what it's going to do, or does the ends justify the means, or I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. And it's saying that it's like a child kind of doesn't exactly make me confident that that's the right thing to do, is to just throw it into the largest city for miles and miles, I mean,
Well, it's not really. I'm not. I'm. Hmm.
I just think this is above our pay grade.
I don't really think that it's our prerogative to keep it here.
Wait, do you guys get paid?
It is a figure of speech, Rock. It's way above our level of decision making, in my opinion.
It it made me feel happy, but also I was really tripping out on things. So I
So
don't know
does
if
the damn bag.
I'm not gonna feed a god to my bag. Also, my bag was there too, but like different, and it's not as friendly.
Yeah, but the bag makes you feel happy too. So how do I know? We never
My
mind.
bag doesn't make me feel happy. Bag gives me a headache. But I want
By
it
the
to be
way,
friendly.
guys, something I think I might have accidentally left out. It said that it knows me. Before it even scanned me, it already knew me.
Oh, it definitely has to stay now. Fuck that.
And I really get the feeling that it's this is some ethereal being here. So authority really doesn't matter now, does it? But that's
Well,
just me.
I kind of see what you're saying. Why don't? And I kind of look around and looks. Adam, who is the, I guess, ranking person amongst the researchers here?
The guy
Uh,
that I it's
Hey,
writing notes that I keep
Butcher.
so
talking to.
of the researchers, yeah, it would be the headmaster Yorn, who I guess.
Okay. Headmaster Yorn, Butcher, whatever your name is. What do you plan on doing with this thing?
They understood the whole conversation too, so they heard it.
Yes, I am sorry. If this thing is a child, I am afraid that it is going to throw a tantrum, and I don't think we want to be in this space when a tantrum's thrown.
Hell
Now,
no.
well, says you say it has some kind of religious or deityal alignment or whatever. Is this a call that we need to have the other clerics or clergymen or whoever make as well?
I mean, if I may speak, we do have a few members of the domain within the Lyceum, but they are not within this room. They could assist, but that thing is as
Well, it
dangerous
has a
as
name. Let's be respectful. It's Chandra.
this Chandra very well is
Davis is
as
gonna interrupt
dangerous.
and just say, "Hey, Chandra, can you understand us when we speak like this?" And like looking at Chandra.
I
And
can now.
if you do, it'll. So, you know, because spaces, we're not really like on the graph, we're not, or in the grid, we're not really put where you guys
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
It'll kind of, its rings will kind of turn and spin, and it'll kind of, I guess it would say like kind of like air walk over towards you, like it kind of floats towards your direction. I do now. Mm.
Oh, well, great.
It,
I think. Yeah, no, that should be good.
That's not creepy.
it was talking in every language to us when we were in the weird space place.
It looks over to you when you're talking. Ah, another familiar one. It kind of leans a little, like gets a little closer to Rock now.
I will
Familiar?
go into a defensive posture because I don't know what the fuck this thing's going to do. I'm like, oh,
It's not gonna hurt us. I don't think it's had its opportunities too.
It has
Seems
been
friendly.
some time. May I leave? Has this
Well,
containment been figured out?
we're discussing what that would mean. I think because we
Well,
all have to figure out what's going on here first.
well, we're ostensibly locked in here too. As long as we're
So I will get us free. Very well.
I would just
We'll,
wait.
yeah, no, we can. Nope, that's bad idea. We'll be free soon.
But I must heed the call. Do you not hear the chimes?
Told you they talk in chimes.
we can't we can't we can't get out of here destructively. We're in a population center of our people.
What is it that's calling you, Chandra? I don't hear it.
that would be Davis.
I I hear the call on distant currents. I must leave. I have been in darkness for amount of times that you do not understand. I do not seek to. I believe the term you use is spread your wings. I must be able to spread my wings.
Can we please let them go?
Well, first off, do we think we can stop it or stop Chandra?
No, not even the least.
Mm.
The only reason they're still here is pleasantries, and we're kind of wearing that out.
Yeah, I don't think we're very exciting to if she.
Well, it's amorphous, you know, it doesn't really matter. Um, but it's trying to answer a higher call, and we're keeping it here needlessly, I think. And I don't think it's a danger. And if it is, then I'll leave. I don't know.
Do you know? I'm asking Chandra if they know what it is that's calling them and what it's calling them to do or where to go.
It is home, I think. It is my, it is the chorus of my kin.
Does it feel like it's urgent? Like you need to go quickly, or
Mm. There is no urgency. It is, I have my own urgency. I have not been permitted to exist for so long,
no?
and I seek
Understood.
to exist.
Chandra, you said that you were in the dark or the darkness or the blackness. Were there others like you there?
Mm. She'll point to Rock and Sej. They were visitors,
I
I
mean, like
think.
you. Were there others, entities or beings like you, consciousness, whatever?
No, I was alone.
Did someone do that to you? Did someone put you in that?
Someone took what was to be me and contained it,
Do you
much
know
how you
who?
do now.
Do you know
Uh,
who or why they might have done that?
I understand. I understand that my kin have enemies, and one of them likely
I'll
took,
point. I'll point down to one of the bodies at my feet and say something like that.
perhaps they or they create a sense of anger. So perhaps
Well, if you would permit us, can we have at least some time to discuss to make sure that what we're doing or what you're wanting to do is not going to have any repercussions towards this very large population center?
it'll look towards you, and you'll feel a weight on your mind, and it'll ask, does a bear seek to consider repercussions when stealing honey from a hive?
No, and was it a mental thing?
Yeah, yeah, we'll say in this case it's a mental thing.
Well, I'll say it. I'll voice this as well. I'll say, well, we're a higher entity than a bear, and there are actions with those that have power. There are responsibilities, and I don't want any innocent to be hurt because we acted recklessly or too quickly.
Your answer will suffice. I will give you some time.
Thank you.
And it will, yeah, and it'll do something that you guys probably will not expect, and it will probably not be very comfortable for some of you. Some of the dead bodies, it will kind of reach his hand out, and then they'll just start to kind of float on over. And it's not the ones that were the demons, it's two people that got killed. And it will begin to kind of play, figuring out how to construct and manipulate. It's learning.
um, that's bad form, friend. That's uh disrespectful. Maybe don't do that, please. Anyone else? Playing with
We'll
bodies?
be
I
like,
don't know.
Yeah.
okay, okay, smart people, we don't have a lot of time, and I'm not one of these. Figure out what the hell we're going to do.
I don't think we can stop it from doing anything. It it's
Listen,
just
Chandra's being very reasonable. They're permitting us to discuss. They are giving us time to figure out what happens next. I mean, it's Chandra. I will agree that that's by some considered not a kind thing to do to those who have passed, and not to manipulate them like that. I understand that you are looking for something to do, um, but maybe not
Their
that. Sorry.
their souls are vacant. They're
Understood. But vessels matter, right? So these once held their souls, and to those who knew them in life, that's all that remains of them. So it has some meaning to their loved ones and their friends, and so that's why it's considered by many to be, still something that's has value, has worth, should not be you played with, toyed with, so to speak.
You can't happen to
Uh,
bring back the souls, can you? By chance, magical being friend.
the souls are on their way to the maze, but flesh can be changed, like the stars shifting in the night sky.
Yeah, no.
oh, Adam, I'm gonna slowly approach Chandra,
Okay.
and I will start talking to Chandra about different concepts to see if I can get, kind of teach him certain things and say, hey, when it comes to people that pass away, the normal rituals for this area or this, that's why it's a little demeaning. And then just randomly talk about things trying to occupy their time while the smart people figure out what the fuck we're going to do. So if I got to do history checks or, whatever, that's what I'm talking about.
I like the distraction. Okay.
Babysitter Dregnar.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna make you roll for anything because I just kind of like that. I could kind of just see you like walking forward and just kind of looking back at the guys and the smarter people. Um, so yes, in this time then, to kind of give you a scope of what's going on with the other individuals. The blood splatters are still there. Uh, though they are heavily coagulated and probably going to solidify anytime soon. Maybe that's the nature of the bloodletters. Who knows? Yorn is taking notes and talking to individuals from the various groups, and they are um, trying to get word outside of the barrier. Uh, some individuals have traced back towards the entrance, and the the vault doors are still closed. The elevator system is in a locked state, but there is a blood trail from probably the bloodletters all the way coming down to this space. Um, some individuals have used another means to get down here, and they are representatives of the Alabaster Repository at the museum, and they are beyond the barrier amongst in like the rafters speaking down. So you guys can communicate by yelling at each other, magical means. Uh, and there is that sense of we need to get this barrier down, or do we need to get this barrier down? Um, so there is discussions being made. This is definitely a situation that nobody probably in the space has ever been in. I'm trying to find something. So you guys are you guys are good to do as you seek, unless you guys have any questions. I'm here to answer them. I'm trying to trace down one thing real quick.
While I'm trying to preoccupy Chandra, at one point I will pull out the herbology book and kind of go over that just to see if there's anything in there that interests, I guess, him. I think you said her, she earlier.
Uh, I don't know. I'm probably using interchangeably. I don't know if they have a.
So yeah, I'm just trying to like do different things, if I have to bring out some of the herbology stuff that I have, to say this does
Sure.
this, just trying to occupy time while
Give
My thing is, if this thing gets bored, I think it's gonna blow this fucking place up.
yeah, give me a wisdom check. I think it falls into anything. So yeah, a wisdom check would do.
Oh, that sucks. I rolled a fucking 4. 12.
12. Ooh,
Jeez.
Wait,
12 total.
Yeah, 12. So I got a +8. Oh, I thought that
wait, are
wasn't a
you
wisdom
proficient
check.
or
That
no?
was a saving throw. So it's actually an 8. Sorry.
An 8. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. You get the sense that they are very quickly digesting whatever you're giving them as far as information. And it's your passive insight. Oh no, wait, insight. It's not as decent as I thought. Yeah, they're just digesting the information fairly quickly. Um, the other individuals here, you'll hear like the Dragnar while you're doing this, and everyone will hear it like, the conversations like, how do we, well, how do we bring it down early as far as like the wardings, and then is it the right thing to do? Drop the warding. How do we know? Like, there is that voice of concern. Like, what happens when this entity gets out? Is there a way to seal it back in? Because not you get the sense that not at any but very few people understand where this thing came from. Then they think it's just something that they can put back in a jar.
When I hear that, Adam, I want to see how it reacts to being put back, the statement being put back in.
Go ahead and give me an insight check then on that one. You could do that.
Yeah. And when they do say that, I will try and chime in and be like, this is not a thing that you guys own. This is a being, and it has its own, will. Basically make it clear that we kind of understand that it has its own sentience and capabilities and shouldn't be thought of as a thing.
Yeah. Let me know what you get, Dragar.
I'm having to do the Venta thing. Oh man, I'm
Oh.
rolling like shit today. 12.
12.
My passive's a 13.
No, I get that. I get that. More on your perception. You'll notice that when you hear that and so going off your perception, when you hear it, you realize that Chandra hears it, and then as the rings are spinning around its head, you see that the eyes focus on the individuals that said that.
I don't
And then,
think that's an option, guys.
Yeah, let's just
well,
focus on getting everybody out of here, and everybody's friendly. We're all fine. Let's just keep it that way, right? There's no need to make anybody, wait longer than they need.
Yeah,
Let it go while it still likes us. I don't
I
like the alternative.
yeah, I agree with Davis and Rock. I think we figure out how to get this down without this thing doing it a different way. I don't think we're going to keep it here in any form or fashion. And then we're definitely not putting it back now, are we? And I kind of emphasize that.
Yeah, no putting it back. Just trying to get out of here. Once out of here, definitely not putting anything back anywhere.
well, if we need to bring the barrier down, this is Yorn speaking.
Which you do.
Yeah. It's not my facility, but I know that. Very well. And he'll call out, up above to the rafters where there's some of the individuals sitting, or not sitting, but trying to assist and try to ascertain the situation. And and you'll hear a name as he calls out is sorry, I have to my OneNote is loading extremely slow for some reason. It's like it's just showing like gray boxes. Wait a second.
Yeah, I got a
Come
weird
on.
thing that said, like, You don't have permission to this notebook anymore when I started it up, but it eventually synced, so maybe their servers are being slow or something.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Uh, Yorn will call out. How long until Ufuma is down here? Uh, you guys can give me a history check if you want. It's extremely high DC. Ufuma is a name.
Could a 19 possibly get it? Because that's as high as I can roll.
If it's a natural 20, I'll give you some bonuses. Yeah.
I'll
So no,
try it.
it's
We're
kind of like a
gonna-
localized. I got it.
He's just making up names again.
I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Still not good enough. So, still, even with
I
Dragnar
can
being in the city.
roll, So no, I'm
Yeah,
listening.
18 with rolling a d20 and a d6 on top of my +8.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yo,
It's
Dragnar, your
history.
dice suck.
It's localized
You
history.
do.
Localized history.
Yeah, it's localized history. So yeah, it's history, but I have my own certain modifiers for individuals based on how much they've been here.
What's a Whitlaw?
Yeah, no, I don't think any of you guys have heard of this individual yet,
Mhm.
to be fair. And you'll hear out, Leader Ofuma's on the way. They've been notified.
Wait a minute.
No, you failed your roll. You don't know who it is.
No, but look what number it is.
Wait a minute.
Oh wait,
It is. You
Oh
got a
shit,
natural
it is.
20.
Oh shit, okay, it is
Sheesh.
natural 20.
I didn't realize it either. I
That's
was like,
right.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
was
It's
it
been 3
8 or
weeks. Good
9?
memory.
Yeah, it was
Thankfully,
9.
thankfully I wrote it down in the other sheet.
Okay, so natural 20. So what would it be if it was natural 20
29.
for a total?
29.
29. Okay, yes. All right, so in your passings coming through Whitlaw as part of your job as a Dusk Watcher and yada yada, an individual that leads the Unveilers, another organization that well, we won't worry about the Unveilers right now, but it's an organization that you guys have run into some of their relics from before. Ofuma is one of the standing leads, and he has authoritative statue over the Alabaster Repository, the Alabastras, Whitlaw, etc. He is the head honcho of the unveilers in this part of the world.
It's a big,
Actually,
big.
after that, you would know, actually, because with a natural 20 and a 29 total, it's a male Camry. You've probably, you may have actually been in his presence before, based off certain interactions that you've done. You can kind of create your own backstory on that if you wish.
It's a mixer.
Yeah, very well.
They're just trying to make the two branches, like there's a networking thing,
Yeah, I get that.
when you got to be how long has he been head? Has it been for a long time or
It's been a few decades easy.
it was his anniversary. That's why.
Gotcha. So he's a male Khemri, middle-aged. He's got a pox-scarred face and a very monk-like disposition. He is known, and those that know who he is known for his understanding of relics of old and divine instruments. He resides within the Alabastras and is the current head of the Unveilers in this part of Kled.
I share that.
Yeah. So he kind of runs this whole area.
Well, that's great.
So,
Then that guy could probably help Chandra understand a lot of things. So, good. Do you hear that, Chandra? Like they're bringing in somebody who knows all about where you came from and all the and maybe even how you got to where you were and what's going on. So that should help.
if they are the one that has the key to this lock, then it shall help. That's his full name. Karos. I put it in roll 20. With
Is
a,
go on.
I was gonna say, with a little bit of time will pass, and another there'll be another set of communications from above, and there'll be a voice that kind of cuts through everyone else's. Butcher, what is happening in my establishment? And why are all why is the vault a mess? And above you'll see, the from what you can see, because it is quite a ways above you guys, but it's kind of it's the red skin, the bluish nose, the various dark hairs. Looking down, and from what you got on from the description of Karos, it is Unveiler Ufuma. Why am I told that we need to alleviate protocols? Anyone wish to
Well,
speak?
I'll give you the rundown, I guess.
Mm.
And I kind of just like tell him my name and
Understood.
go through kind of the step by step of what happened with the weird blood smelling weirdos that we killed. And
There is certainly many a blood stain on the tunnels leading to the vaults.
Yeah, that was y'all's
Yeah,
boys. That was Orson, I think his name was, and some others.
some of them, correct. But there are many others that have been killed above. So you're telling me this other entity, this Chandra, is not involved?
Nope. Well, no, they didn't do anything with this. They just came
they,
out of the urn thingy.
they were pretty much the captives of these assailants, or the captive of an artifact that is no more. And it needs out, and so do we. And through talking to it, it's a young celestial. It didn't even have a name.
Sorry, I want to interrupt Sage and be like, okay, look here, guys. This thing's going to take it down one way or the other. Do you like it? Do you want to keep this? I would suggest you take it down before this thing does whatever it has to do to get out of here. I don't want people to get hurt. So stop playing this damn game and just let this thing out before it blows this damn place up.
It'll like turn to you, Dragnar. Is this the individual I must convince? Is he the keeper of the lock?
I'm going to look at Butcher.
Butcher will kind of nod his head. And Chandra will just
Yep.
kind of start floating on up. And you see as she's kind of floating up, there's like ripples within the space, like the air above, as she's like almost like kind of pushing her way through what maybe is like a barrier, kind of like things that are meant to kind of keep her contained.
As they
She's
do
trying to
that,
get
I'll yell up and be like, "They've been very, very reasonable and patient so far, so just hear them out."
and for the sake of the conversation, Sandra will say, I seek to heed my call. I wish to depart. Are you the, and it kind of looks at him, bag of flesh that can release me?
They're not real good with words yet. I
Uh,
don't think they meant an insult.
I just like you have like it's almost like not a heckler. What do you call it? I don't know what you would call
Like almost like a hype man kind of, but like more of just like a checking them kind of thing.
it.
I guess it's like it's the anger translator, but kind of in reverse. If you ever saw that sketch.
Yeah. Again, I'm giving y'all like the cinematic view because y'all are down at the bottom. We'll unfold his hands and what guarantees do I have that you will not run up when you're out of this cage? Mm. Chandra will respond. None. For I do not know what you deem as running amok. And Afuma will say, well, you're asking me to take a risk. Why would I be willing to take such a risk?
It's kind of a risk to not let them out, I'd say.
Frankly, a risk for all of you down there.
I mean, I'm pretty
But
sure
for
you're
any,
in the crosshairs there, bud.
if it is my time, it is my time. There will
Oh,
be another leader.
maybe they'll be more reasonable.
You know, I think every single one of us could get out of here if we really wanted to.
I, I, if I doubt that this has multiple. The security protocols are simple. It has different wards for all different known. Hmm, how do we put it? Planar entities, as well as means to
What do you
disrupt
Do you know
what do
this
you
planar
one?
need for
operation.
us to what do you need for us to get out? What do you need? Like assurances? Like what do we need to get here?
I
My
need
word?
I need a degree of confidence that, how do I put this? Enough of the population has been evacuated from this space that if the Chandra leaves, they will not interact with it.
So ask. They're right there. They understand you.
Why don't you come in here?
I am physically unable to. I am,
Close.
huh?
Nothing. Just mumbling to myself.
Got it, got it. Well, he says physically unable to, but yeah, whatever. We have sent word and we have assistance from the cause to evacuate the Lyceum district. Once these evacuation protocols are done, we shall open the lock. If this is truly a noble creature that the Celestials are depicted to be, which, frankly, my studies say otherwise, it will be permitted to depart and head back to its cosmic seas, where it can be with its brethren, or whatever it wishes to associate itself with.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Like, does he actually believe that Celestials are nastier than like history and everything says that they are?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, that's
Inside
a
it.
nat one. Oh boy. Total of 7. Hey.
Total of 7. He says some interesting things.
Gotcha.
You're like, wait, Celestials?
Yeah,
What?
maybe they do. Maybe they
What?
are weird.
They're
Teach the
weird.
controversy, right, y'all?
Yeah.
This governmental process is not only holding a celestial being, but some people who don't even belong to this place. Like this is I think
True.
the celestials being more kind here than I will be. This is getting ridiculous, is what I'm trying to say.
You are saying your life is worth thousands?
Yes.
You
Well,
must.
considering how many we have saved over the course of the last couple months or years, yeah.
Dave, he's not wrong, but
Yorn, who are these individuals?
We're the Crass Menagerie, sir.
Davis, yes.
don't you know who we are? That last one was
Everybody
probably
strikes their
fair, not I.
poses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Spotlight
that
hits.
that isn't something I actually said.
Superhero pose.
yeah. You associate yourself with a band of mercenary heroes.
Oh goodness.
While your deeds have, while words of your deeds have spread, and thank you
You're welcome.
again. Population. The Lyceum District is being expeditedly evacuated under some pretense that I have had past.
You're worse than the Whitlock court.
Well,
Come
Ugh.
on.
hold on, Sesh. Hold
You
on,
know
hold
what?
on. He says, Dragnar, 1 second. I think with, I mean, Ofuma here understands more than many of us do what exactly we're dealing with here, and I think it's not unreasonable to take precautions and evacuate the area if need be. And Chandra, your aim is just to depart and return to, you said, your home, or to be with your
To
fellow,
where the call is.
where the call is. Fantastic. And you have nothing, no desire to do anything here in this city, right? You just desire to leave.
This place is irrelevant to me. Right now, it is a point of frustration as it is a
Understood.
confinement.
But you will just leave it be as you depart, right?
As of now, yes.
Okay, well, and thank you for, again, understood your patience. You've been waiting for so long that none of us can understand. That for us to ask you to wait even longer would be insulting to many, but you've been very patient. So if you could maybe, I know it's difficult to ask, but if you could maybe wait. Hey, Ofuma, how long?
Minimum,
Absolute minimum, like double time minimum. Get your fastest people out there and moving everybody.
it's not the people, it's the
Understood.
populace that needs to be moved. An hour.
People can be, hurried with the right
At
motivation.
best, an hour.
Okay, I think an hour, that makes sense. Very good. Chandra, Dragnar, and myself, and the rest of the menagerie here, we're happy to answer all the questions that you have for the next hour. And then I don't even know if you know what that means, but
I have a concept of it now.
okay. So
Very well. I shall play. And she goes
fantastic.
down and starts just kind of looking at everything.
I mean, to a celestial being, a few minutes is not even a blink in time to them. Well, as far as I know, I'm no celestial or anything.
Insight
Apparently.
check. No, I'm just kidding.
Adam, I'm going to stroll over to where Afuma is, the closest I can possibly get.
Sure.
Can you describe physical appearance, please?
Yep. Male, Camry, middle aged. Uh, has a pock scarred face. Gives off a monk like, uh, I guess a monk like pose and presence about themselves. They are draped in, currently, they would be in white and blue robes of the monk style. They, as Karos mentioned, they have a particular unique and vast knowledge set on ancient relics and divine instruments. As far as other features about them beyond their pock-scarred face, they are, as they are a Khemri, they have the reddish skin tone, with their nose being more on the blue and the I guess the parts that are in between the nose and the cheek being of a yellow color, kind of like a mandarin monkey, if you know what those are, a mandrill, excuse me. Um, Seems to be uh, in a well-standing order, so good physique, looks healthy.
Okay. So I want to, like I said, I want to walk over to him and say, and by the way, you can thank this band of mercenary heroes for giving you the time you need to be able to evacuate this area safely. So next time, before you start judging people, why don't you know what the hell you're talking about? And before he says anything, I'm just going to turn away and walk off.
Not a hero.
I was dripping with sarcasm because his little goddamn mercenary hero bullshit.
Mm.
I get the feeling Davis is the only one that wasn't insulted by that.
Yeah, yeah.
Davis is like, yeah, shit, yeah, that's awesome.
Hero.
Yeah, he said the important part, hero.
Uh, Chandra will. Well, let's put it this way. She needs to be they, she, it, he, whatever you want to refer to. They need to be
They need to be what?
so
Sorry, you cut out a bit. Oh,
distracted.
oh yeah,
So
I'll take that on for sure.
what they're going to do once they've kind of come down and kind of are down on floor level, um, kind of listening to Dregnar, but in a way not listening to Dregnar because they don't understand the differences. They stopped messing with the dead bodies, but they don't show them like any real like respect, if that makes sense. They're just kind of, again, a pile of flesh. Their souls are vacant. Flesh can be changed. What's was there is gone. Um, and Dregnar, and I guess Davis, as you're kind of trying to help keep Chandra distracted, um, the one body of the individual that got just straight up gutted, um, you'll see that in the time that it has been with Chandra, either they did something to it or something has happened to it. Um, so every, to use a fun word, every orifice, so nostrils, ears, eyes themselves, mouth, uh, you're not going to really see much else, but if you wanted to take a look, you could, has uh, changed over time in their space. And they are basically, you just see a bunch of closed eyes. And that's almost like nothing to her. She just, or them, they just kind of did something to it and walked off. Yorn is doing his best to kind of call out to Chandra and get their attention to maybe assist with understanding what was going on in there. But Chandra um, is more interested in just walking around the perimeter and just kind of running their hand along, the barrier. So you can see all the glyphs kind of lighting up. And they're just at the same pace the entire time, just kind of walking around while you have others individuals just scrambling around trying to, right what has happened here and like getting the stations reestablished, cleaning up the blood messes. You hear communications and updates about every 5 minutes as some of the unveilers are, uh, talking and giving information of the evacuations. And Ofuma is um, observing all of this from above and relaying the information as well that he can. Uh,
The whole time, I'll be kind of just kind of following along as it basically kind of like a chaperone slash babysitter. Like, oh yeah, that's fine, cool, yeah. Like if it ever seems like they're gonna be doing something weird or aggressive, I might intercede. But otherwise, it's just like
okay.
sure, play around, whatever.
So within that hour, that feels like it's the slowest hour that takes place. I don't know how you guys managed not to fight this thing, but okay, whatever.
Yet.
Yeah, this is kind of impressive that you've calmed this thing down enough.
Can I tell it riddles?
Sure. Do you have a riddle for it?
Oh gosh, that one not offhand.
I was just curious.
I
Okay.
mean,
You will come to realize that a lot of the riddles that you give it, it doesn't have the context or whatever to make that connection. It's like you almost have to explain it every single time. It's like when you give it a joke, you have to explain the punchline. Same thing. It's like, ah.
so
So,
not mesmerized by riddles. Okay.
not mesmerized by the riddles. Though intrigued by things you say, like it listened, as you are someone that it is familiar with.
I'll tell it stories of our adventures and of my bag and of all the crazy things we've done, and I'll do it with uh, using minor illusion to assist, and I assume Al would probably assist because we've done this before.
Oh yeah, when we got a show out of this.
Just
So,
like just full on like we did in the town.
Bullpine.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, back in Volpine
Yeah.
Square. So when you bring up the back, it'll ask, it'll ask, is this the third familiar entity?
Yeah, the spooky, scary thing in space. That yeah, that presence that I didn't enjoy much. That's my bag friend. I don't know about friend anymore. Kind of spooky.
Hmm. Why would someone of your quaint and positive energy associate themselves with such a cold void?
Quaint. What
You
was
are quaint.
I think? Okay. Well,
Are you not?
How
I
quaint.
don't know. I'll turn to Al. Al, am I quaint?
Yeah,
We're in a
that's it.
library. There's got to be a dictionary, right?
Sure, we'll go with that. Because you see, we have this bag. I'll just like there's. I believe that there's too much destruction in the world, and maybe instead of finding different things, fighting different things, we could maybe just learn to communicate. And I don't know if we can be friends with everything, but we can maybe not destroy each other all the time. So I'm trying to become friends with, but now that I've seen it, it's much scarier, and I don't know why it bothers with me. The better question for you is why is it bothering with me? I'm quaint, and that makes me curious, so that's fine. But why does it humor me? I don't know. But it's super spooky.
You ask a good question. Why does it put up with you? And why are you so concerned with just this world? You must realize there is an
We,
endless
we
sea out there.
well, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm worried about just this world. We were in the maze for a while. That was, I wouldn't go back there. I
It
lived
is
there.
where, and she points back to those two bodies. It is where they have departed.
Yeah, yeah. It's not for the living.
Well,
We, we,
not
we,
supposed to
we
be at least.
yeah. That was an oops.
For the
Um,
mortal.
I don't. I, I didn't know about other worlds for the most part and places. Just what we have here,
Hmm.
and I care about where I am with the people that I travel with. I don't think we can go visit other worlds. Can you take us to other worlds? Can we go to another world? That'd be pretty cool.
I could take you many places,
He could show you the world.
but
God damn
I.
Actually, shimmering, splendid.
it.
Yes.
It would be shining, shimmering.
Rock?
On a magic
No.
carpet ride.
Hey, can we see these worlds alive or fire some weird like spiritual? Like I don't want to. I still want to be me.
Perhaps this is not the time, then.
Yeah, no, no. We'll stay here. I got plenty to do here. Maybe someday you could come back. When I'm old and ready to not be here, we can visit many places. I'll have more stories for you then.
Are you speaking of your mortality?
Yeah, yeah. I guess
That
so.
is what makes all of you so quaint.
The rest of you guys are quaint too. I'm just picking on me.
You concern yourselves with living, which, when it is all that you know, I perhaps can understand. But
I mean,
We work with what we
you
got.
seem pretty excited to be out of trapped space box zone and becoming alive yourself. So I think living's great.
perhaps you are correct. But from what I am able to hear and understand, the amount that have lived before and the amount that will live will know nothing other than their quaint lives. There is more, but perhaps it is not a mortal's place. Perhaps I have learned something.
Hey, see, we all learn something new every day. Yeah, when you have limited time like we do, it's hard to worry about everything, and you just have what you have. Do you know more about my bag friend? What kind of entity it is?
It is from somewhere in the cosmic soup of the limitless.
Is it dangerous? Malicious?
We are all dangerous and malicious to some.
Well,
Is it
okay.
trustworthy?
I have not interacted with it,
Very well.
but from what I feel, it is it is something that will continue long after you are gone.
Yeah, seems like we run into a lot of things that'll be longer than we will be. There's a lot of you very powerful beings floating around the universe that we keep stumbling upon.
You keep sticking your nose into things. Is that
That's
the
one of
correct saying?
that's yeah.
Pretty
That's
much
part
spot
of
on.
being quaint. Comes with
Think
curiosity. You know, limited time.
They definitely got
Gotta
the right moral out of hearing our stories.
gotta see things, learn things, enjoy what we have. You know, and some of us, I mean, this group, anyways, we're pretty strong as a team, so we're trying to make the world a better place. I guess, kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
sort of doing a shit job of it, but
Yeah.
We try.
We're not perfect, but I'd say we've done fairly well.
I mean, the two cities we've helped, one of them is now floating in the sky, and the other one has a permanent storm.
But both
But they
of them
still
still
exist.
have people living in them.
True, that is true.
If I may, a bead of wisdom.
By all means.
Even the most perfect individual or thing will inevitably fall to its arrogance. And this arrogance of the premier cultivated a cancerous tumor that sits in the very center of cosmic unrest. Perhaps that is why I had been here in the first place.
Did you say premiere?
The premier,
So,
the first.
do I know what they're talking about?
I, I'm just, I don't even think, no,
Okay,
not a
fair
roll
enough.
that you can make. No. Sorry, not even with an natural 20 would you.
Yeah, understood.
Hey, have you ever heard the name? And I'm gonna butcher this because uh, is it Samawujit?
Samawidget?
Samawijit?
Samoe Jit.
Samawijit?
Samoiji.
It is a name that comes from your minds, yes?
Oh, that was another one of them all powerful beings that we stuck our nose into, maybe the right or wrong place.
It is an older being. What is this all powerful? There is nothing all powerful.
More powerful than us, longer
Fair,
living than us.
but you seem to disassociate your capabilities with yourselves. Yes, there are entities and powerful forces, but nothing is eternal.
Hmm.
As mentioned, the premier fell to its arrogance.
Yeah, what do you keep what's the premiere? I don't know this.
I do not know either. It is something that was before anything. The premier.
Oh. But a very
And
powerful being, it sounds like.
perhaps uh, it is something I do not completely understand, but perhaps something that I have heard somewhere.
Hmm.
I am sorry. Some of what I know is I am discovering myself.
It's an important part of a young person's life. Self-discovery.
But yes, I wish to leave and listen to the call and perhaps understand more. And, well, leave this place, perhaps never to return. Or perhaps I will see you again shortly.
Yeah, hey, come back before we're all old and gone and dead, and let's then teach us things.
We'll probably see them after too.
Well, yeah.
I do not know why we do not cultivate the souls or change the flesh. Well, apparently I should
Literally,
not.
we're just changing, playing around with flesh. But
I was told not to.
yes, thank you for not doing that. Yes. Hey, right now you don't have anything you can teach us, or magic wise, or like any cool stuff you can give anybody, all friends, and like anything at all.
Right now I am giving you your lives and my patience.
That's great. I'll take that. That's a great. Thank you. Yep.
The
No,
greatest gift of all.
we very much appreciate it.
Oh, I sense that was not to intimidate. I apologize.
It was pretty good, though, I will say. If you were
I
trying
can,
to, that would be a good way to do it.
Mhm.
I can. Ooh, you know what? As our new friend here, it's kind of tradition for us. I can give you a temporary something, and I will. Seeming everybody in the room gets a hat.
Jesus.
Al just lights up. He's like, oh,
And like everybody that I can see, including
Yeah, I get you. Everyone. That's fine. How novel. And it'll grab it. Like I know it's meant to be illusion. It'll grab it, flick it, and it'll hand you the hat.
well,
what?
Transubstantiation.
Can I'll try to grab
you
it.
gotta do
Can I
that.
actually grab it?
Yeah, you can grab it.
Whoa. Al, check this out. I don't know how to tap.
What?
It's also pretty freaking big, right? Because Chandra's pretty big.
This is,
2 hands, 2-head hat.
it is.
Oh, okay. So as you're doing that, she'll go and she'll pinch it, shrinks it. Oh,
I'll phase it through my existing hat.
sits on it.
That's the coolest.
Hand it back to
I'm
Rock.
happy.
You can add a menagerie top hat, I guess, to your
To your
Oh, heck
inventory.
yeah. We're
Yo,
keeping that.
merch.
Yeah. Does Al give it back or is Al keeping it?
I gave it back to Rock.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's going on the head.
It's the prototype.
And then she'll
Yeah.
take the one that's on the illusion from your head and then stretch it out and put the illusion back on her.
That's so cool.
I'll pull out the old shiny buckler and hold it up for them to see. So you look right at it. Novel's the right word. So hats are fun.
Mm. Are all these individuals your kin with the hats?
God, we still have
Yes.
hats.
I mean,
Rock, was it just a menagerie or was it everybody
Just
in
everyone you
distance?
could see. He
I,
said,
Everyone you
I
can see?
mean,
Hell yeah.
these fine people here, and I'll point to just the menagerie, our group. We travel together. Everyone else, I'm just like furiously. Everybody else, they all work here. They're good people too. We think so far they're good people. No, they are definitely good people. No, Don't kill any of us.
I will try not to.
Hey, at the end
You
of the day,
are.
that's all anyone can do. Just try
Yeah,
their
no,
best.
Mhm.
and again, she'll kind of like she'll move her finger towards you and just kind of poke you very lightly. You are flesh.
What do we? What? I'll poke back. What are you? Can I poke back?
Yeah, you can go back.
You flash too?
She puts her hand up. I don't know. She's not flesh. When you touch her, she does not feel like flesh.
But
Is she
solid.
like still cold,
Solid.
or is that just weird space stuff?
That was weird space stuff. She's very warm. Um, like not like where you're like next to an oven warm, but like she's like she gives. I guess I'm just gonna go with she because you named her Chandra. So there we go. I'm associating with a lady now. She is very. So kind of going on your stereotypical celestial, she is giving off like they are. I guess you would follow them like, they are in the good spectrum from the things that you understand of good, if morality was to be applied to like how someone feels. But I don't think you're stupid enough to realize that good does not mean nice, right? Like, sorry, good and nice are not the same thing. That's what I wanted to say. Um,
Look
you've
at us.
managed to, you've
Trivial laws
managed,
and barriers don't really apply to celestial beings.
I would say like you've managed to distract and in a sense entertain her enough that like this could have gone nuclear pretty quick.
Yeah.
So good job on that.
I knew it. Radiant damage is radiation.
It all makes sense.
Didn't necessarily mean it like that, but yes, Suki.
It's just less dirty. That's why there's not all the fallout after people use radiant
Yeah,
damage spells.
yeah.
It's just clean fission.
Clean. So with a little bit more discussions and a little bit more work and people taking notes and everything being logged of any discussion that is being had, uh, you finally get the word from Afuma that the Lyceum has been cleared and that the barriers will be coming down shortly.
We're to be free soon. Is everybody ready?
Um, yeah. Chandra, when we leave, when the barriers come down, can you, again, for our sake and everyone around, can you try to do it gently?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just, in case things go awry, I'm gonna do what I can to help the people here.
Very well. I will require a. I'll do the same thing. So take the hat, flick it. Thank you for a suitable container. And she reaches, and you see her go to the ground, and she just plunges her hand into where the origin point is, and just kind of rips out the ground, drops it in the hat. For my next of kin.
It seems like it was yours to begin with, so.
Yeah.
And then she'll put her foot over the hole and just kind of fix it.
I'm gonna move to like an outside wall, try and like gather any of the people around that and just like kind of huddle in a corner, get them to like huddle.
Sure.
Face leaving is like you know blowing through the ceiling or something. And just want to make sure that
Very well. With people gathering, kind of getting away, you hear the different various calls from various individuals. Barrier 1 down, barrier 2 down, barrier 3 down. Like the official protocol by the Unveilers. And then after a number of barriers going down, Chandra will look to everybody in the room. Yorn will look at her. Ufuma will look at her. There's numerous unveilers, and you get the sense that they're just ready to spring into action should something happen. The students and faculty from the College of Fascinations, as well as the Heralds of Exploration, are as far away as possible. And then Chandra just kind of there's this pause, and then every single one of the eyes on her rings all blink closed, and then the rings just begin to kind of fold in her outer space, and her entity gets swallowed up by the rings, and then the rings fold in on themselves, and then she kind of puffs away.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Now, was that supposed to be so freaking hard? I'm really bad with. Sorry, I'm really bad with authority. Anyways, can we leave?
Yeah, can we see the surface?
I go over and apologize to Bjorn too.
It's
Yorn.
quite alright. Remember, butcher amongst friends.
sorry, I haven't. I guess Christ is averted the ice that I'm thinking on this corner anymore. But that was weird. Hey.
Not every day you encounter a celestial.
Not every day you name one either.
I guess you're right. It's kind of scary. I'm kind of been stuck in thought a lot while this was happening about what it meant by it knew me. But it not knew me, but like me that is the energy of whatever.
Question, out of character question.
Sure.
Sedge, do you, the person, know, and Sedge, the character, doesn't? I'm just trying to pick up if I missed a check or something, because I think I know what it means, but I wasn't in that scene, so Karos doesn't know what it means.
No.
You can tell him if you want to, Suki. Hypothesize.
Yeah.
I mean, I
don't
assumed
really
that it
know.
was he knew you and the bag and
And Rock.
because you two were in that trance dream world thing in the previous episode.
Yep. That would be
Probably.
correct. I'll just tell
Okay.
you that is the correct way to read into it.
Okay, that was from my understanding. If there was some check or something I missed about the or so. Okay, all right.
No,
I
it was meant to be
was
kind
just
of vague.
assuming it's from like a previous reincarnation or something because it's part of his faith.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But no, Chandra knew you. Only knew the three of. Well, yeah, the three of you, which would be the bag, and then Sej and Rock, because she interacted with him. She didn't interact with Carlos, so that's why she didn't know Carlos.
Hey, Sedge, if Chandra comes back and destroys the world or takes over or anything, it's not your fault. You named her.
Yeah. At least if that does happen and we have to confront a celestial, which I really don't want to, right? I don't think that's possible. But at least we have their name. That's somewhere to start, I guess.
Kind of, but you freed her and named her. She's kind of like she's your kid, sort of. You're a very powerful, scary, magical kid.
Color is weird.
So as you guys are kind of having, oh, go ahead, keep going, sorry.
It's not really something that I assumed that will. Even if it becomes a problem, it wouldn't be a problem in our lifetime. You know?
It's the next generation's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How pertinent.
Sedge is a boomer.
Really?
Only 100 years old.
Ted says that. Dreg looks around like, motherfucker, I lived for hundreds of years.
Whose lifetimes are we talking about here?
So, as you guys are kind of having discussions as the barriers have been dropped down, Yorn and the researchers and them will call it for the day as it has been intense. Security sweeps will be made on every individual to try to ascertain that there are no more bloodletters amongst y'all. And then Yorn will be summoned to discuss things with Afuma, and they will insist that the mercenary band of heroes join. And that's where we'll take a little bit of a break. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.